I'm like 3/4 of the way there. Jersh calls me. Where the heck are you? I've gotten better with my fear of spiders. I've gotten better with like my fear of snakes.
Let's say you're building a starting five of you and 4 teammates. Who are the 4 teammates that you want with you in a game?
Not Jonah DePoto, not Will Klein.
For the first episode of Chasers Chat in 2024, we had to go back to a returning Storm Chaser. It's pitcher Anthony Veneziano. You've been a starter your entire career. It seems like this year you're kind of going to be in a hybrid role. You've started some games, you're going to pitch out of the bullpen some. How are you treating that role? How does your preparation differ one game to the next?
Yeah, it's been good. I think the biggest thing is pulling from some of the other guys. So sitting down in the bullpen with our bullpen coach Lundy, getting some good information with him. And last season when I debuted, I was out of the bullpen. So my first real series was against Houston. With 40,000 people, and I had to mentally prepare to pitch. So I think I got some good experience there. And then this spring training, like with the older guys that we signed this year, is really cool to get to know them a little bit and hear their stories of how they get ready to come play.
So you mentioned your debut last year. I first want to ask about the story of Jersh telling you that you were getting called up for the first time. But also, was that something that was on your radar? Like, were you prepared for the big leagues, or did it really come out of nowhere?
I guess it came more out of nowhere. I think it was the last series of the season, so I'm expecting to go home. So I'm driving from Omaha to Columbus. The team flew. A bunch of the guys drove. I'm like 3/4 of the way there. Jersh calls me. Where the heck are you? Like, I'm at a gas station right now. What's up? He goes, we got a team meeting at 10. Let's go. So I kind of busted it to get there. Showed up to the hotel, and Jersh is waiting for me with my bags and congratulated me. And my roommate John Boland got called up as well. So it was really cool.
Did you dye your hair blonde when you were in college? Take us through that decision.
So it was my junior year. We were struggling, and a lot of the guys decided to dye their hair. And some of the girls kind of helped out with dyeing their hair, and it wasn't really blonde. It was more copper than blonde. I had blonde hair for probably about a month. That got drafted. So when I got drafted, I got a haircut, but I still had like cool tips almost. So I had little blonde flakes, and it didn't go over well with some of my teammates at the beginning because first impression, you see a dude from New Jersey talking fast, a little crazy with blonde hair.
I was going to say, how did your Italian family feel about that?
They weren't there, so I didn't get an opinion from my mom, thank God.
Do you have a favorite like regular Storm Chasers jersey, but then also like a favorite one-off Storm Chasers jersey that the team's won?
I think the black ones were really cool. I like the black hat, black jersey, it looks sleek. And then the coolest one we wore, the Latin American night one's pretty cool. I don't know our team name, but I think the jerseys are really cool.
Cazadores de Tormentas.
There you go, yeah, they're cool.
And we go back before college, high school. You played 2 sports, and we'll get into that in a moment. But you also were fast on the bases. You led your team in stolen bases your senior year. How did you decide that pitching was what you wanted to do? Because obviously you had some skills off the mound as well.
Hitting-wise, I really could hit anything that moved. So I kind of knew I wasn't going to be a good hitter. But I was always a pretty good athlete, so I can run. I was a good outfielder, played first base. But I was taken by pitching since I was 5 years old. I emulated all the Yankees as a kid, Andy Pettitte, CC Sabathia. So I knew from a very young age that my position in baseball would be pitcher. And
your college bio said you scored over 1,000 points in your basketball career. So where does the decision come between playing baseball at the college level or maybe playing basketball?
So I actually got some recruiting noise with basketball before I got it with baseball. Not at the Division I level, but a small D2 and a bunch of Division IIIs. But baseball's been my passion for sure, always. It was pretty easy to make the choice once Division I school started looking at me for baseball. But I still love basketball.
Can you still dunk?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Let's say you're building a starting five of you and 4 teammates. Who are the 4 teammates that you want with you in a game?
Okay, we had this conversation a little bit in spring training, but it wasn't with all the guys in AAA. Me, John Boland. Raver said he can play. I haven't seen it, but I believe it. He's a good athlete. Let's see who else. I think CJ Alexander can play a little bit too. He's a good athlete. Not Jonah DePoto, not Will Klein.
If you could be on a reality show, what reality show do you think you'd be best on?
Honestly, I want to try, back in the day, I'd love to try, Fear Factor. Yeah. See how I did on that. I think Survivor would be cool. The real, whatever, that Love is Blind one and stuff like that, that's not my bag. No. Something that involves athleticism, I think maybe Amazing Race would be a cool one. Yeah.
What do you think would be the Fear Factor challenge that you'd be able to nail that maybe some other people couldn't?
Anything athletically, I know I've gotten better with my fear of spiders. I've gotten better with my fear of snakes. So I'll see how I handle it in a setting like that. But some of the stuff they do where they have to jump, and they're over a giant ravine or something like that, I'd love to try that.
There was a movie made about your life. Who do you think you'd want to play you?
Vince Vaughn. Tall, lanky guy that talks really fast, really good at telling stories, always trying to chop it up and make a joke of everything.
Your dad's meant a lot to you in your career. I know he's no longer with you. You have him embroidery on your glove to remember him. How has he helped you get to this point in your career?
I think he still lives in my head a little bit. So some of the antics I do out there when I'm pitching, it's him channeling, his thoughts into me. And I know he's super proud of me. I mean, it's coming up on 10 years now. So, you're still really sad about it all the time, but I've learned to kind of live with it a little bit. And I know he's really proud, and I'm just trying to do everything I can on and off the field to be a good son, even though he's not here.
How do you feel the New York Giants are going to be this season?
I don't know if we're going to move away from Daniel Jones or not just yet. We'll see what we do in the draft this year. We'll see how it shakes out. I think the Giants need to get a receiver. They did a good job this offseason getting some offensive line stuff, but definitely bottom tier of the NFC East. We know the Cowboys aren't going to win the division. The Eagles we'll see how they do with Saquon. And then the Commanders the Giants have their number. So it can go various number of ways, but if we get 8 wins, it's a good season.
So our social media manager, Nina, did a deep dive of your Instagram. There's a lot to choose from. There's one post that I want to ask you about in particular. Take me through this post from February of 2019. Yeah. Yep. Explain to me what's going on here.
So basically behind us, there's like the student center and there's a pool. So we would do pool workouts like once a week, and then we'd walk over, get changed, and have practice. And me and my buddy Dylan Gentry, we call him Slick, we decided to do our hair up like that, and we walked onto through the field into the locker room, and someone snapped a picture of us, and yeah, it looks funny, doesn't it? But we just came from the pool. We did a lot of good pool workouts back then. But yeah, the hair, the little hairdo with the towel is a good look, right?
Benefits of going to Coastal Carolina, I
Yeah.
guess.
Got to get some sun, man. We're out by the beach. Come on.
Anthony, I appreciate the time. Really good to get to know you here on Chasers Chat. Best of luck the rest of the way, and looking forward to seeing you again in the big league soon.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm excited for the season.